God says, this is about you. You are the only one who does not know what happened last night. And yet, the entire spiritual realm has been shaken because of it. What unfolded in the hidden corners of the night while you slept peacefully has now reached heaven's courts. And you, beloved, are still unaware of the gravity of the moment. The silence of the night betrayed you. The ones you trusted most spoke your name, but not in love, not in truth, not in prayer. You were discussed, judged, targeted, and even offered up by someone who once swore to protect you. While you dreamed of peace, someone else was busy plotting your fall. And God says, you deserve to know what was hidden from you. The truth is not gentle, but it will set you free. While the clock struck midnight, a conversation took place. Your name was whispered by lips that you once kissed, by voices that once told you they'd never hurt you. One voice in particular, someone very close to you, brought your name into a place of spiritual warfare. This person, who has been smiling in front of you, offered up words behind your back that cut like swords in the spirit realm. And God says, this person knows what they did, but they are hoping you never find out. But God is revealing it now. Because you have walked in innocence for too long. Because you've kept trusting those who've been wearing masks. Because you've ignored your gut feeling again and again, believing love could cure betrayal. But God says, what happened last night was not just a betrayal, it was a setup. One that had been brewing for weeks, maybe months. It was not spontaneous. It was planned. And you were the target. Your downfall was the topic. And someone who shares blood with you sat there and didn't defend you. God says you are the only one who doesn't know what was said, but heaven recorded it all. You have been walking blindfolded through a battlefield. And last night, arrows were fired. Not with steel, but with words. Words that carried curses, projections, lies, and manipulations. A group of people sat in a room, some physically, some spiritually, and tried to rewrite your story. They spoke about your past. They mocked your future. And they laughed about things they should have prayed over. God says, their laughter has reached him, and now his judgment has begun. Because they were warned. They were given time to repent. But last night, they crossed a line. Someone who once loved you confessed something that should have broken your heart, but God held you back. Because if you had known last night, you wouldn't have been able to carry it. That's why he delayed the revelation. That's why you still feel heavy today. That's why something feels off. It's not in your imagination. It's not a mood swing. Your spirit feels the shift because what was done in the dark is now being dragged into the light. And heaven is moving on your behalf. Archangel Michael stood beside you last night while you slept. Because the forces coming against you were too strong. This wasn't just gossip, it was witchcraft. Someone used your photo. Someone spoke your name into something demonic. A ritual. A dark intention. A wish for your ruin. A prayer for your failure, but not to God. And God says, enough is enough. He is tearing off the veil. He is exposing the entire plan. You are not going to be left blind anymore. Your tears were counted, even the ones you cried silently this morning, without even knowing why you felt so lost. That's why your sleep was disturbed. That's why you woke up tired, confused, and spiritually drained. Because something was pulled out of you last night without your permission. But God is restoring you. God says He is placing a new spiritual protection around you starting now. A shield that no curse, no chant, no word spoken in wickedness will be able to penetrate. But you must listen. Because this is not just a message, it is a rescue mission. You are not crazy. You were right all along about that person. The one who keeps making you feel guilty. The one who says, I love you, but always has a hidden agenda. The one who knows exactly how to twist words. God says, this person was the centerpiece of the discussion last night. They led the conversation. They offered up your name like a trophy. They pretended to know your heart, and they lied. Boldly. Proudly. Shamelessly. And those listening believed them. Because they, too, carry envy in their hearts against you. They are upset that you are still standing. That you didn't break. That you are still receiving favor even after everything you've been through. But God says they will see more. Because your breakthrough is coming. And nothing they spoke last night will be able to block it. They tried to delay it. They tried to transfer your blessings. But heaven intervened. A divine reversal has already begun. God says, you are not just being warned, you are being given insight for your next move. Be careful who you speak to in the next 3 days. Be careful what you share. Do not reveal your plans. Do not post your emotions. Silence is your shield right now. The same people who smiled with you will use your words against you if you're not careful. The same person who called you today and asked, "Are you okay?" already knows what happened last night. They were part of it. And they are checking if you found out. Don't give them the satisfaction. Archangel Michael says, he is removing names from your path now. You will see people distance themselves. Let them. You will feel sudden disconnection. Don't chase them. You will hear lies being told about you. Don't defend yourself. God says, let Him handle it. Because if you try to fix what they've said, you'll be pulled into a battle you were never meant to fight. God says, this is spiritual. And his angels are already working to destroy what was plotted. You are walking into a divine upgrade. And that's why the attack intensified. The enemy is nervous. Because what's coming for you is massive. And it cannot be delayed anymore. That's why this warning had to come now. Because what happened last night was meant to be your spiritual assassination. But God blocked it. God stood between you and the dagger. And now, He is opening your eyes. You have been protected from things you didn't even know were dangerous. You have been saved from people who would have destroyed your destiny had God not stepped in. Now is not the time to doubt. Now is the time to trust Him deeper than ever before. The people involved are still pretending. They are still acting like everything is normal. But their masks are slipping. And over the next 7 days, you will begin to see their true faces. One by one. Don't panic. Just observe. Because God says He will give you clarity. Conversations will slip. Screenshots will surface. Secrets will spill. And you will finally understand why your spirit was so disturbed. You are not the villain. You never were. But they've painted you as one in their own twisted narrative. They couldn't control you, so they tried to destroy your name. But God says your name is in His hands. And no human tongue can erase what God has written over your life. You are chosen. And the enemy hates that. But no weapon formed against you shall prosper. What they said last night has already been turned into your testimony. And the same mouths that cursed you will witness your blessing. Be wise now. Be still. Let God finish what He started. You are not going to have to fight for your reputation. You are not going to have to beg anyone to believe you. God says, He is your vindication. And when He moves, everyone will know the truth. They tried to bury you, but they didn't realize you were a seed. And what's coming next will silence every lie, every betrayal, and every false witness. You are not alone. Heaven is surrounding you. Archangel Michael is not leaving your side. Your spirit was attacked, but it is now being fortified. Your destiny was threatened, but it is now being elevated. Your peace was shaken, but it is now being restored. This warning is not meant to scare you, it is meant to empower you. You are stronger than you know. And God says, this is the beginning of your unveiling. The beginning of your rising. The beginning of justice. What happened last night tried to stop you. But it failed. Because the God who keeps you neither sleeps nor slumbers. And He saw it all. And now He's making sure you see it too. Trust what you feel. Trust what you see in dreams. Trust what is being revealed now. God is not a God of confusion. He is exposing because it's time for you to step into your next level without carrying snakes in your circle. He is purging your life. He is cleaning the path before you walk it. Because the elevation coming is holy, and holiness cannot walk with hidden wickedness. You are being separated for greatness. And not everyone can go with you. God says, this is your call to awaken. To rise. To release what's toxic. To accept what is true. And to walk boldly into the season He designed for you, without apology, without fear, and without delay. God says, this is about you. You are the only one who does not know what happened last night. In the realm of spirit, something monumental unfolded while you were asleep, unaware, resting your body while your soul stirred. A conversation happened in the heavens, about you. A divine meeting was held in secret. Angels stood in position. Names were spoken. And your name, above all others, echoed across realms. There is something God is trying to reveal to you, urgently, quietly, lovingly, but you must not ignore this any longer. Last night was not ordinary. While the world slumbered and you turned over your pillow, something tried to reach you. An energy, a sign, a whisper. It wasn't a dream, it was a message. But you were too tired, too heavy in spirit, and it slipped through. But God is merciful, and now He brings it again. Someone spoke your name last night in a way you wouldn't expect. Their voice carried both regret and love. They thought of you, deeply, painfully. They prayed for you, but not the way you might think. They didn't ask for your return. They didn't ask for your forgiveness. They asked God for clarity. They asked to be shown who you really are. And God answered. But the answer shook them. God showed them the truth. A truth that even you do not fully realize about yourself. You are protected in ways even you have ignored. You are surrounded by light so bright that people who walk in darkness can no longer stand near you. And this truth is setting things in motion right now. Someone who used to understand you no longer does, not because you've changed for the worse, but because you've grown into the version God always intended. Your aura has shifted. Your spirit has sharpened. What used to cling to you has been removed. And some people are shaken by this. Last night, Heaven reviewed your timeline. God sent angels to walk beside your bed. Not because you were in danger, but because something was about to be revealed in your life that will require deep strength. The strength of one who knows they are chosen. You are about to step into something enormous. But first, the veil must lift. And to lift it, you must be willing to see what others have tried to hide from you. Last night, someone tried to cover up something with silence. A truth. A decision. A conversation. They thought if they didn't mention it, it would disappear. But it won't. Because God heard it. And now, He wants you to hear it too. Someone made a decision that involves you, without you. They met. They spoke. They agreed. You were not present, yet your life is tied to their plans. But God is not surprised. He sat in the middle of that meeting unseen. And He shook His head. Because they forgot who you belong to. You belong to the one who does not sleep. You belong to the one who defends the innocent before the attack even begins. You belong to the one who rewrites outcomes at the last second, just when the enemy believes they've won. God says, last night, a door was locked behind you in the spirit. Someone tried to shut you out of something, hoping you'd never find your way back in. But what they didn't realize is that you're not going back there ever again. That chapter is closed because a new door is being opened in front of you, one they cannot enter. Your heart has been heavy for weeks now. God saw the way you tried to hide your sadness. He heard your silent questions. Why are they acting different? What changed? Why do I feel left out of something I used to be part of? And He answers now, it's because the tables have turned. The season has changed. You are not being excluded, you are being protected. Someone did something last night they never thought would be exposed. But God is light, and in Him, there is no darkness. The time of cover-ups is over. What they whispered in private will now echo in public. What they hid in their hearts is about to show in their actions. You will not have to guess. You will not have to confront. You will simply see. Because you are entering a season where God reveals everything. The false smiles. The half-truths. The silent betrayals. But also the hidden prayers. The secret support. The people who have loved you deeply but quietly. Yes, there's someone who cried for you last night. And not in sadness, but in fear that they may never get to fix what they broke. They didn't think you'd grow this strong. They didn't expect you to survive. But you did. And now they're wondering what their place is in your future. God says, nothing will go wrong with you. Even if people try. Even if they scheme. Even if they plot. You are being pulled higher than their intentions can reach. Your steps are being guided away from danger. What they hoped would wound you will now elevate you. There's something you need to know about yourself. You carry the kind of favor that makes others feel exposed. Your light reveals what their shadows are hiding. That's why they turn away, why they become cold, why their hearts shift when you speak truth. It's not that you're wrong, it's that you're real. And last night, this realness scared someone. Because they saw you stepping into your power without needing them. They realize they don't have the same control over your emotions anymore. That's why they've gone silent. That's why you haven't heard from them. That's why the energy feels strange. But do not panic. You have not lost anything God intended you to keep. And you are not alone. The angels assigned to you are stronger than the confusion rising around you. They are preparing the path ahead. They are clearing out the liars. They are marking those who must exit your life before they destroy the blessing that's about to enter. God says, there's a message coming to you soon. A message that will make your heart race. It may be in a text, a letter, a call, a dream, but it will be clear. You will know. And when it comes, do not delay. Do not second guess. You'll need to act, move, respond, because your obedience will unlock something bigger than you imagined. There's a financial breakthrough attached to this message. A new connection. An open door. Something that will make sense only once you walk through it. Don't let the past make you too cautious to believe. Last night, heaven assigned an answer to a prayer you've been waiting years for. But before it manifests, God must align your heart. He's doing it now. That's why the restlessness. That's why the unease. It's not punishment, it's preparation. You're being called into a greater awareness. A deeper wisdom. You're not supposed to react emotionally anymore, you're meant to discern spiritually. This is not just about people. It's about your calling. And the distractions must now end. God is urging you not to shrink again. Don't go back to that smaller version of you just to fit into places that made you feel tolerated instead of celebrated. Don't re-explain yourself to those who already decided not to understand you. Walk forward, even if your knees tremble. Walk forward, even if it means walking alone. Because ahead of you, there is a moment waiting. A divine moment where the truth will be louder than the lies. Where the right people will find you and say, "We've been waiting for someone like you." Where the doors will swing wide not because of who you know, but because of who you are. And you are chosen. You are seen. You are protected. Not just now, but always. And what happened last night was not a threat, it was a warning to those who tried to play with what God has set apart. Someone underestimated the weight of your anointing. They thought your silence was weakness. They thought your kindness was naivety. But God has shown them otherwise. And now, they don't know how to come back. So they may lash out. Or retreat. Or pretend. Let them. You are not responsible for their awakening. You are only responsible for your next step. And that step is sacred. That step leads into the next phase of your destiny. And that phase begins now. So rise. Not in anger, not in vengeance, but in grace, in clarity, in confidence, because the truth is on your side. The angels are on your side. And God Himself is standing beside you, whispering, "You were not supposed to see this before. But now you are ready. And I will show you everything. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. Just trust me. And don't look back." If you believe in God, type Amen.